We're traveling through the wilds of North Carolina looking for the infamous Link camera. There it is, in the tree. Hey there, little buddy. Do you want to come home with me? But what if I told you I could give you some free YouTube airspace? That's what I thought. Let's go, man.
What's the deal, everyone? Welcome back to the studio. I'm Jeremy Dio, and today we're going to be reviewing what is honestly the coolest little webcam I've ever used. If you've not been watching my last few videos, I bring up this camera quite often because it's become kind of a lifesaver for me when making my editing videos back in the office. But it's not the only thing I use it for, and I'll actually be breaking that setup down a little bit towards the end of the video. The best way I can describe this camera is a reinvented version of the webcam. Smart little camera that punches way above its weight class and comes with a bunch of super helpful features that you can use in your current daily workflow activities, especially if you already use a webcam. Now, just to be transparent as possible here, they did send me out this camera in particular to review, but this is not a sponsored video, and I'll share my honest opinions on this camera the whole way throughout. They have no say-so in the video itself, and all the thoughts and workflows I talk about are my own. And with that out the way, let's get into it. Alright y'all, you've all seen webcams before, whether they're attached to the laptop you're using right now, or it's an accessory product like this one. I'm not going to dive deep into what exactly they are and their purposes for, that's pretty self-explanatory, but I will go into what makes this one so much different than the rest. And those are the features that go above and beyond just a simple webcam. Before I get into all those cool features like the AI tracking, whiteboard features, desktop view, overhead mount capabilities, gesture control, and a few others, the very first thing we're going to talk about here is the image quality, because really, that's its number one purpose, right? It has a few different shooting modes, from the 4K that I'm shooting on now to 1080, and those will be the main two that I'm talking about, because as you can see right now I'm in 4K, but when you switch over to 1080 mode, it supposedly has an HDR mode, which should be increasing the dynamic range. So I'll switch over to that now. Can you see the difference? Because now we're in 1080 HDR mode. Check out that window over there. Does it look better? Do I look better? Exact same lighting scenario, exact same time of day. You tell me what you think. I can definitely notice a difference between the two clips, but is the HDR something that you want yours to actually look like? Here are two clips right next to each other. On the left-hand side is the 1080 HDR, and on the right-hand side is the 4K non-HDR. You tell me which one you prefer. As for the image itself that's produced by the camera, I think it's really great for a webcam. Granted, this thing's not gonna be replacing my A7 IV or any other cinema camera for that matter. Look how tiny it is. It's not a cinema camera, it's a webcam, and when it comes to its purpose, it does that well. Footage is a little too sharp in my opinion, so I end up turning that down, but that issue is common to super small sensors. Not to say that this is a super small sensor, because for its category, it actually has a large sensor, 1/2 inch, which may sound small to us cinematographers, but it's way larger than most other in its category, and any that I've personally used. For all my editing videos, I used to set up this giant A7 IV camera on an annoying clamp and tripod arm that kind of worked, but it usually sat a little cattywampus. Now I have this 1/4-20 screw on the top of my monitor holder that I can screw this little guy into, and it stays there in perpetuity, or until I want to take it out and pop out this little arm and attach it to any screen or anything else. One thing this camera does do really well is AI tracking and focusing. First, let's talk about the focusing. I realize it doesn't have a 0.95 aperture or anything like that, but I can hold something up to the camera and it has a quick reflex focus, and quickly after removing it, I am again the focal priority. This feature reminds me a lot of the Sony line's quick product focusing, one that I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised with. It's been reliable enough for me to regularly use without ever having to worry if it will work, unlike the contrast detect autofocus on my Panasonic system. Now, let's talk about the AI tracking. This is one that I had some fun testing. What's unique about this camera is the gimbal that it actually works on. Most webcams with this feature take a really wide shot and then they crop into the area that recognizes your face, but not this camera. It physically tracks you around the room, and it seems to work incredibly well. I've even put this to the test, and it's smart enough to always track the face closest to the camera when there are multiples in the scene. And since it's on that gimbal. Let's get to some of the features that are truly unique to this camera using this gimbal, like the desktop display. This was the one I was personally the most excited about, but realized on my main desktop setup, because of the ridiculous amount of displays I have and the way I have them all mounted up, this feature only kind of works for me, but the minimum throw is just a little too shallow. But to be fair though, that gripe I have, you know, it's no fault of this camera. It clearly states that, and while it doesn't work great in my editing rig, it does work great here on my main meeting screen. I have my laptop down below and the Link camera attached here to the top of the TV. This allows me to have meetings with people and see them on something more true to life scale and not the super tiny laptop screen or monitor on my phone. For me, it feels more like a real personal interaction than it does when I interact with people on smaller screens. And this cool setup, I can show you the whiteboard feature. It comes with these 4 little stickers. You put them up and the camera will recognize them as a designated area of focus. That can be a whiteboard or a storyboard or an art layout, anything you can put 4 markers around. It can even be used as a gag for your YouTube channel. Overall, you're not gonna find a better webcam with more features, especially for the price. I didn't even bring it up yet this video, but this thing is dirt cheap. For the price it costs, it has saved me so much time. So if you're interested in the Link, see what I did there? Actually, I stole that joke. So thank you, Sharon, for giving me that. Link down below for the camera and other affiliate products. You know the jazz, all the usual spiel. Check out my art, check out my photographs, buy stuff, use affiliate links, help me to help you. As always, keep rocking and rolling. Enjoy what you're doing, make smart business decisions, and I will catch you next time. All right, I think we're done. Man, you don't realize this, but I'm gonna throw up some random clips all around here. I've recorded this video so many times, I just never liked any of them. Let's hope this one's the magic sauce.